Hello guys, and welcome to Marina Bay for another edition, a much overdue edition of this F1 2014 100% race career mode. As some of you might know, I had the unfortunate incident happen to me that my save game file got corrupted there, and I actually thought I'd lost my entire career at that at a certain point, but I was lucky enough to find a backup that worked. Only problem with that backup was that both the Italian Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix were missing. So I had to drive both races again, and not only that, I also had to make sure that the outcomes were as close as possible to the original races that were already uploaded. Anyways, this was our first lap in Q1. We managed to squeeze into Q2 fairly comfortably there, but as you can see, the rain is starting to come down here for Q2, and I get the nasty feeling that the rest of the qualifying session today is going to be happening in rainy conditions. Skipping right to Q2 here, we almost lose the back end here, putting ourselves into the barrier. In that particular section of the track there, it's a chicane-like, actually it's two turns, turns 11 and 12, really difficult, particularly in the wets, and we are running a sort of conservative ride height in this particular race because we want to be able to take better advantage of the curbs there. And on that particular section of the track, and also this section of the track, hopefully that is going to be to our advantage. And also this left right-hander coming up right here, this is definitely a place where I always seem to have a lot of trouble, and also the AI seem to have a lot of trouble in this particular section of the track. But as you can see, also the conditions here, the track conditions are not getting any better here. So basically what this was just a question of getting out on track as quickly as possible, put in a quick lap, hopefully good enough to get us into Q3, and lo and behold, we do manage to get into Q3, only bested by Fernando Alonso. Jumping ahead to Q3 here, we are employing the same strategy as before, but we get a yellow flag situation. One of the Williams cars putting himself into the wall there, and we hit his front wheel that is in the middle of the track. Thankfully, no damage there, and we are able to complete our first lap here. 1:52.972. Provisionary pole at the moment, and only Nico Rosberg manages to beat that time, meaning we start in second on the grid for tomorrow's race, and lo and behold, Jenson Button rounds out the top three there. So two McLarens in the top three, very positive indeed. And just going over the pit strategy of the race here, as you can see in the background, there's a 25% chance of rain. So once again, whatever strategy we seem to come up with here, it's probably not going to matter much in the end, as we are going to have that strategy disturbed somewhat by, at the very least, a rain shower at some point. So I guess we're just going to be winging it pretty much like we do all the time. So getting ready for the start here, Rosberg on our right there, right in front of us. Jenson Button immediately behind us on our right there. So this is going to be interesting to see who gets out of the gate the best. And we get a fairly decent start here, but Rosberg seems to be a little bit faster out of the gate than we are. Button is having a good start too, but we have the inside line here, and we get the move done into P1 here. Oh, a bit of a borderline move there, actually, if you ask me, but we are into P1 here. Rosberg is in P2, and by the looks of it there, Jenson Button hanging on to P3 right behind us. Coming out here on the main straight, the second DRS straight, in fact, and probably the only straight on this particular track where you can sort of make a difference with your straight line speed. And with the McLaren here, 2014, that is basically the only real thing it has going for it is the Mercedes engine and its power. It seems to be lacking a lot of downforce in the corners, loads of understeer on this car here, but straight line speed seems to be very competitive. And by the looks of things here so far, we are being trailed by Rosberg at the moment, but we are opening up a bit of a gap down to Jenson Button in third position, but he has Lewis Hamilton immediately behind him. So if he could just hold up Hamilton for, I don't know, a good 4 or 5 laps there, that would definitely be to our advantage. And skipping ahead here to lap 3, as you can see, we have opened up a bit of a gap down to Rosberg of 2 seconds there, meaning he will not have DRS here as we come out on the straight. Also, Button has dropped down, or not dropped down really, he's still in 3rd position, but he has dropped back about 7 seconds. What is interesting, however, though, is that Lewis Hamilton appears to be out of the race. We can see him situated in the 22nd spot there, but if you look at the number of runners at this point, we only have 21 cars running. So by the looks of things, Lewis Hamilton on lap 3 of the Singapore Grand Prix is out of the race. And as you can see there, the only real threat we have at the moment is the Mercedes there of Nico Rosberg, about 2 seconds behind us. We are not too concerned with fuel management at this moment due to the fact that there is a 25% chance of rain later in the race. And usually how that works out is that when it says 25% chance of rain in a 100% race, there is going to be a period of rain. So I guess any fuel management or any fuel saving we need to do, we can just as easily do on a wet track. And as we are on lap 6 here at the moment, as you can see, Jenson Button is no longer in 3rd position there. Felipe Massa is into 3rd. He's about 12 seconds behind Rosberg, who is about 3 seconds behind us at the moment as we run very wide there in turn 25. And just as I was talking about earlier in the race there, as you can see, 22nd position, Lewis Hamilton, but only 21 cars running, so that is bad luck for Hamilton as it gives us a golden opportunity here to extend our lead in the Drivers' Championship. Skipping right ahead to lap 9 here, no real change in the situation. Rosberg's still about 3 or 4 seconds behind us at the moment as we are coming up on the first set of back markers here that we are going to be passing probably all throughout the evening here. That was Adrian Sutil, and that one went pretty easily, no real drama there, so that was good news for us. This is easily a track just like Monaco or any other street circuit for that matter, where you can easily lose 2 or 3 seconds per lap if you run into a set of back markers at the wrong point of the track. And on this particular track, there are a lot of wrong points. Skipping ahead to lap 13, as you can see, Rosberg is only about 2 seconds behind us at the moment, and although our tires are starting to show a little bit of wear, that is not the main reason. I suspect that Rosberg has now saved the fuel that he needs to save for the remainder of the race and is starting to put the hammer down, showing us his real speed on this particular track. We had a gap down to him of about 6 or 7 seconds at one point, and I'm not really sure how much of that was down to him negotiating back markers. And all I know is that over the past 3 or 4 laps here, he has closed the gap by about 4 or 5 seconds and is starting to put us under some pressure here. And skipping right ahead to lap 14 here, we're trying to lap Kimi Räikkönen at a very unfortunate part of the track here. It's very difficult to find a place to pass because the AI cars will just stick to the racing line in the turns pretty much like they're paid to do so. But anyway, we managed to get by here without too much trouble, and by the looks of it there, Rosberg is going to be losing a couple of seconds to us because he's not able to pass Räikkönen at this point, and he hasn't done so yet. So that's good news for us, bad news for Rosberg. As I was talking about before there, as you can see, Rosberg behind us at this point of the race is really starting to unleash those Mercedes engine horses. And he really seems to be able to just close the gap on us at will at this point, because he'll happily drop back 1 or 2 seconds negotiating a back marker and then just immediately close the gap on us basically when he feels like it. So bad news for us here is it appears that Rosberg has gotten through this first stint of saving some fuel and taking it easy like the AI usually does without really losing any sort of significant time to us there. So it's going to be a problem keeping him behind us for the remainder of the race as we pass Ericsson here. But look in the mirrors there. I'm not sure if you could see it or not, but Ericsson, like the AI cars does, he gets out of the way for us and immediately pulls back into the racing line. In this case, he does so right in front of Nico Rosberg. And by the looks of things there, if you look at the mini track, Rosberg is very, very slow going through the corners at the moment, so I think he might have lost his front wing or something like that. And as we skip ahead to lap 19 here, we are coming in for our first pit stop of the race, changing to another set of option tires. As you can see, Rosberg is nowhere to be found in the top 5, and he has indeed been in to make an unscheduled pit stop at this point. And as we rejoin the track here, it appears that we are in second position. Valtteri Bottas just going past us there on the right-hand side. And I cannot imagine that he has been into pit yet, so it shouldn't be a problem. Skipping ahead to lap 25 here, as you can see, we are back into P1. Sebastian Vettel is currently running in P2. He is 30 seconds down on us. Bottas immediately behind him, and Rosberg is re-emerging into 4th position. So a little over halfway through the race here at lap 33, I have to say that so far this Grand Prix is going very much to our liking. Lewis Hamilton out of the race, Sebastian Vettel dropping back, he is about 33 seconds down on us in second position. Rosberg having to make an unscheduled pit stop due to front wing damage, losing a lot of time because of that, is about 40 seconds down on us at this point. On lap 35, we are coming in for what is our second pit stop of the race, and according to our normal pit strategy here, at this point we were going to be changing to a set of prime tires that we were going to be finishing the race on. But as our engineer has been telling us here for the past 5 minutes or so, there is rain expected to come in about 15 minutes or so. So we are going out on options yet again here, as we expect to be coming in to change for intermediate tires at some point, negating the need for primes. And on lap 36 here, we have a safety car deployed, as it appears that Sebastian Vettel, who was running in second, had an accident there, and I'm not sure who else were involved, but Vettel is definitely out of the race at this point. This is bad news for us. We had a huge gap down to the second car there, but Massa is now running in second, and he is less than a second behind us there. And as the race restarts here on lap 38, this is going to open up a completely new race here for the remaining 23 laps here. Everything is really close, and we have the rain coming within 10 minutes or so. This is going to be very, very exciting. Only positive thing to say at this point is that we are on really fresh option tires, and on lap 40 here, as you can see, we are easily pulling out a gap again on Felipe Massa, and this is what we really need to do at this point: get as much of a gap between us and him before the rain starts, and the AI are going to have the advantage on us. On lap 44 here, we have opened up a gap of about 10 seconds down to the car in second position, which is now Daniel Ricciardo, who has passed Felipe Massa, who is almost 5 seconds down on Ricciardo there. So I'm not sure whether or not Massa's had an accident or not, but we have a 10-second gap down to Ricciardo as the rain is starting to come down here ever so slightly. Lap 45 here, the track conditions have become bad enough for us to go in and make the switch to intermediates here. And what is going to be interesting from here on out is whether or not we are going to be finishing the race on these intermediates, or whether or not the rain is going to pick up further and we are going to have to come in and make the switch to full wets. Jumping ahead to lap 48, as you can see, the track conditions have deteriorated even further, and we are now going into the pits one more time to make the switch to full wets this time around, and this is not going to be a nice thing for us. We are going to be suffering like crazy in full wets here. We did this the same thing last year when we were driving with the Toro Rosso team. The second the rain started coming down and we had to make the switch to full wets, that is when we started losing time, because we were in a position where we could have won our first Grand Prix here at Marina Bay and ended up giving away the first position there to Nico Rosberg simply because we were not able to match him in the rain. Skipping ahead to lap 50 here, Ricciardo has been in to make the change to full wets as well, and is only about 2 seconds behind us right now, starting to put us under pressure. And this is going to be bad news for us. This is like driving on ice at the moment here. We have absolutely no grip or no traction whatsoever. Just as soon as we hit the gas pedal there, the back end starts stepping out like it usually does around these parts, running very wide here, turn 24 and 25, and so it appears it actually gave us a little bit of air down to Ricciardo there, but I'm not really sure why. So jumping to lap 51 here, as Ricciardo has completely closed the gap on us yet again. Also, Sergio Perez now in third place there, about 37 seconds down on us. And coming into the right-hander here, it seems that our brakes have absolutely no effect, as we just seem to be aquaplaning all throughout the corner. And Ricciardo makes the most of the situation there, goes down the inside of us, and is currently leading the Singapore Grand Prix. As we run wide yet again here, absolutely no grip, no traction whatsoever. Skipping ahead to lap 52 here, more drama. As you can see, lots of debris here in the corner. Actually hit some of it there, and it appears that Ricciardo's getting tangled up with a back marker here in the runoff spot there, and I'm not really sure what happened, but as you can see, we are back into P1 there, and we have a Force India right behind us there. That is not Sergio Perez, that is Hülkenberg. He has been lapped, but seems to be putting us under pressure to reclaim that lap at the moment. Skipping ahead to lap 58 here, it appears that Ricciardo did not suffer any damage in his altercation there with the back marker, as he has closed the gap on us yet again and is putting us under pressure here with only 2.5 laps to go of the Singapore Grand Prix. And I guess just for the remainder of the race here, we are going to be doing our utmost to just park the bus as well as we possibly can here, hopefully keeping Ricciardo behind us, because we are unable to match his speed at the moment, seemingly regardless what we do. So this is just going to be a question of making the car as wide as possible for the remaining 2 laps here, and hopefully that is going to be enough to secure us a win here in a very, very hectic ending of this race. Skipping ahead to lap 60 here, we are having brake issues, it would seem, yet again. Stepping on the brakes, nothing seems to happen. We run wide into the left-hander here. Ricciardo makes the most of the situation yet again, goes down the inside of us. We are back into P2, and although we try and hang with Ricciardo as best we can here, we are just unable to match his traction coming out of the turns. And unless he makes a mistake on the last lap here or so, I don't see how we're going to win this one. As you can see here, lap 61, Daniel Ricciardo takes the win here at Marina Bay. We are going to be coming home in second place. A bit of a bittersweet feeling here, I guess. I thought we drove a very, very nice first half of the race here. We did have a bit of luck. Both the Mercedes cars there had their altercations. Lewis Hamilton out of the race. Nico Rosberg having to make an unscheduled pit stop there. But we had a nice, comfortable lead down to the second car, right up until the point where that safety car came in and threw a bit of a wrench in the works for us there. But we finished second here behind Ricciardo. Sergio Perez running off the podium. Jenson Button is fourth. That's pretty nice. But look at the list of DNFs here. Wow, this was just pure mayhem. And I have to say that looking at how many cars did not finish this race, the fact that we only had one incident of a safety car there was a little bit surprising. Anyways, we managed to expand on our gap down to Lewis Hamilton here in the Drivers' Championship. We are now 50 points clear of Hamilton, and unless we mess up pretty bad here in the remaining races, I'd say we, at this point, actually have a pretty good chance of running away with it. So, anyway, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014 action, and I'll be seeing you soon enough. Bye-bye.